Hey guys, welcome back to another unboxing video, and today we're going to be unboxing two Beyblades at once, and that is Meteor Dragoon and the Shark Scale deck set. By the way, I don't know if you guys can hear my voice. I'm feeling kind of weird. My nose is stuffy, but let's continue the unboxing video. Starting off first, we have Meteor Dragoon. Here's the front of the box where you can see Meteor Dragoon. It also has a different color than most UX boxes, and at the back you can see the parts and of course the owner of this bay in the anime, which is Chrome Ryugu. So let's get opening. Box. Inside the box. Ooh, they hid the skillet guy behind the thing. That's up. We don't need this. You know what that means. Launcher time. So this is the Meteor Dragoon launcher that we have. It is white and purple. It only works for left spinning bays. So right spinning bays don't work with this. It also comes with the first standard release of the Dragon Winder, which is different because the Dragon Winder has a different grip than most launchers and also has a different length. It is longer than a hook launcher but shorter than your saber or hold launcher winder. So it depends if you're gonna use this, but to me, I'm definitely gonna use this because holy cow, does it look good. Look at this. This looks way too cool. Peek. It's the bay time. These are the parts that Meteor Dragoon has. We have the blade, the ratchet, and the bit. Let's explain them one by one quickly. So up first we have the ratchet, which is 370. Now 370 has 3 sides and 70 millimeters in height, which is pretty decent, but it's not really that good if we're talking about meta relevance. You can use this, but I wouldn't recommend. I just go with 360. And if you are going to use this, I recommend using it on Impact Drake or Tyranno Beat for the down smash or the rubber capabilities. Oh. And for the bit, we have Jolt. Let's get a close-up real quick. Can you guys see that? Okay, so Jolt by design looks like a combination of Wedge and Excel, but performance wise it's more like Wedge, Level, and Elevate, which I don't have. So Jolt has very slow attack type patterns, which means it has lots of stamina but also has really great attack. So this is basically the younger version of Level, but it is a bit worse because the tip is really short, as you can see, and then the outer is really big, so it's gonna scrape a lot, which will lose lots of stamina. And speaking of stamina, we have Meteor Dragoon, and holy cow, does it look really good with the white metal coat and the purple and red. I'm not crying, that's just my nose, but this looks really, really cool. I can't wait to picture this, and I'm gonna be really sad if the paint gets chipped off. Man, why do we keep doing this? So Meteor Dragoon is special because it's the first ever left spin blade that has rubber in the UX line and in Beyblade X in general, which is a pretty huge milestone, but it is also a double homage to Dragoon from the plastic gen and Meteo El Drago from the metal fight generation. Not only that, it's the first ever Drake/Dragoon bay to sport 3 contact points, which is different from the usual 4 that Impact Drake, Cobalt Dragoon, and Cobalt Drake that I don't have. It's also important to mention that Meteor Dragoon is really imbalanced because at the back, one of the dragon heads is extremely larger than the other. We have 1, 2, 3, and this is just the largest and the imbalanced part of the blade. Now, why did they do this, you may ask? Well, it's because Takara Tomy doesn't want an attack type bay that's purely for spin steel in the meta. They want an attack for attack, not anything else, so that's why they had to nerf it. But an imbalance can also be good because it allows the weight to be centered around here, which allows to do big hit KOs, which we will probably see when we test this bay. Let's also not forget to assemble our blade. So we have the blade, in goes the ratchet, and the bit. Meteor Dragoon. Gotta centerize it. Look at it. Very, very peak. It's shark scale time. So this is the front of the shark scale box, which has shark scale, Jolt, Tyranno, and Hasbro. And at the back, you can see the parts and the owner of this bay in the anime, which is Meteo. Did I pronounce that wrong? I have no idea. Since this is pretty big, let's just open it and get the beys out already. Box. We don't need this, so let's just throw it away. So here's the inside of the deck set, so let's get opening and get the beys out already. So here's the inside of the set. We have Jolt Tyranno, we have Hell's Brave, and we also have, of course, Shark Scale. Right here. Let's get opening. Turns out we do need a skill up guide for this one because the lock chip remover is inside of the skill up guide. So sadly, we have to open it. So this lock chip remover will help us with CX beys. So to do that, we're going to be opening first Hell's Brave. So here's everything that Hell's Brave has, as well as the main blade. Let's talk about it one by one. Gear flat is not that good. It's way too aggressive. It's geared all the way at the bottom, which helps with extreme dash. We don't really use this, so it's just a good bit to have for collection, I guess. The yellow looks weird. Yeah, that's it. That's my opinion. 360. 360 is a ratchet that has 3 sides, 16 height. Pretty decent. I have 3 of 360s now, and I like the green color. So that's it. This is a pretty meta ratchet, so yeah. And finally, we have the Hell's Brave. Let's talk about the parts using the CX lock chip remover. We'll just remove the lock chip and, of course, get our parts. Here is the Jaggy assist blade with a yellow transparent color. Is it translucent or transparent? I have no idea. But Jaggy has consistent 9 jagged blades around the assist blade, and it's also pointed downwards, which is why this was the best assist blade for 6 blades back then until Heavy came in. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Brave main blade. Nothing much to talk about here. 3 sides, top heavy, yellow and black. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And finally, the Hell's lock chip. It's just a Hell's lock chip. I do like the colors though, as you can see. Let me get a close up. Yeah, looks pretty dang cool. Here's our parts, so let's talk about them one by one. So this is the level bit. Here's a little close up. So the level bit is really good because it has good LED, good stamina, and it is probably the 3rd or 2nd best attack type bit, depending on your opinion. To me, it's the best one because I really can't control low rush and rush. If you're going for control while also attack, then level is for you. And this level has a little mold change, which that this level is more flatter, as you can see right here, but this level has a more pronounced top. You really can't see the difference unless you look at it really closely. If you give a side-by-side comparison, you can see that one of them protrudes out more just a little. And also, black colors look cool. That's it. And for the ratchet, we have 170. Now 170 is a ratchet that's one-sided and 17 millimeters in height. This is a pretty good ratchet for all attackers. I recommend using this rather than 370 if you want to go for all attack, but 370 is good if you want to have more balance. And for the blade we have is Roar Tyranno. Now Roar Tyranno is a Hasbro Echo back then until it was reworked into a TT Bay in the Shark Scale deck set. This one echoes Phoenix Wing. That's pretty much all I have to say. It has 3 sides, the colors look nice, and it's a pre-evolution to Tyranno beat. That's it. So here is the shortest attacker, which is Shark Scale, and these are the parts. Let's talk about them one by one. First up is the bit, which is underflat. Now underflat is the shortest attack type bit in Beyblade X, being 2 millimeters shorter than the normal flat, released 3 years ago actually, which is pretty insane. This isn't actually the first ever under bit to be released. The first one was, of course, Under Needle by Golem Rock. Side-by-side comparison. Also, since under flat is 2 mm shorter, it's able to kind of ratchet snipe against beys, especially with the ratchet that Shark Scale has, which is none other than 450. Now 450 is the first ever shortest ratchet in Beyblade X. It has 4 sides, but 50 mm in height, which makes it the shortest ratchet ever. This ratchet is good for CX beys if you want to use the short advantage of this ratchet. And burst risk wise, this ratchet doesn't really burst that much because of how short it is, which is pretty insane. And finally, for the blade we have is Shark Scale. Look at this. Holy. Now Shark Scale is a double-sided or dual-sided attacker that is incredibly circular with 2 points of contact, and it's also really sloped down. As you can see, the launcher hooks slope downwards like that, and at the back you can see that it's also kind of imbalanced. This one has more metal, this one has more metal, and this one's kind of more hollowed out. I think this was to, of course, balance it so that Shark Scale doesn't become too OP, which didn't really happen because it was still OP. Shark Scale, of course, is a very low height attacker since the metal is placed really low and also curves upwards, which means it practically slices opponents when it's on its stock combo. Which, speaking of, ratchets on Shark Scale seem to be completely hidden. As you can see, there's no gap between Shark Scale and the ratchet, which is insane because it allows Shark Scale to have the ratchet intact while other blades try to kind of burst it, which does not happen. Now it's time to put all the parts in. First we have is Shark Scale. Let's put in 450. And of course, under flat. Look how short this blade is. Get a close up. God dang. Okay, let's get more Tyranno. Let's get 170 and let's put it in. Where's it go? Okay. And then let's get our black level. Boom. Pretty cool color combination. Close up, close up. And finally for our CX blade, let's get the Brave main blade. Let's put Jaggy, and then let's get our lock chip. We don't really need to use the lock chip tool. You don't really need to use this. All you have to do is just use your fingers and kind of twist it in place. It's already locked in. And get 360. And of course, gear flat. So here's everything inside of the Shark Scale deck set. Shark Scale, Road Tyranno, and Hell's Brave. And of course, the extra CX lock chip remover. That's pretty cool. Here are the weights of every blade in a Zenki style weight check because of how long this video is. So let's get right into the testing. Okay, it's time to test the beys, but first let's do the test launches. We have Meteor Dragoon, we have Shark Scale, of course Hell's Brave, and Roar Tyranno. Let's do these first before Meteor Dragoon. To start, we have Hell's Brave. Let's do a test launch. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Self-extreme, of course. Let's test Roar Tyranno 170 level on its first time spinning in my stadium. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Black level. Another self-extreme. Can we go 3 for 3 with the Shark Scale stock combo? Can we do another self-extreme? 3, 2, 1, go shoot! In extreme. So close. Let's now finally test or see the spin of Meteor Dragoon with the new Dragon Winder launcher. I don't know how to grip this, so I don't know.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, it worked. This feels comfortable. This actually feels comfortable than other launchers. I think I'm gonna use this soon. Let's do another one. 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Yeah, Meteor Dragoon's a little bit too chaotic, no. Okay, so now let's test the star of the beys, which is Meteor Dragoon and Shark Scale. We won't be testing Roar Tyranno and Hell's Brave. Maybe save it for another video. So let's just test the 2 star beys of this video. Alright, so we're going to be testing Meteor Dragoon and Shark Scale. And to do that, we're going to be testing it against a stamina opponent, which is Samurai Caliber 960 Freeball. Let's start with Shark Scale first on its stock combo. Now, since this video is ridiculously long, let's speed this up a little and talk about both combos that these beys will be going up against, which are and also now these beys will be our test combos because we want to see specific things from Meteor Dragoon and Shark Scale. Samurai Caliber 960 Freeball is a really good stamina combo because Samurai Caliber has a weird shaped blade that can counterattack but lacks weight, and 960 Freeball is just a really good stamina combo overall. And this combo is here to specifically test out if Meteor Dragoon can spin steal on its stock combo, and to see if Shark Scale is truly the face of the meta. And our attack type combo, which is Hell's Brave on Jaggy 360 Low Rush, which is your standard CX attack type combo that is focused on smash attacks. To see if Meteor Dragoon can spin steal from other attack type beys, and to see if that imbalance can help him with hard hits. And Shark Scale because we want to know if Shark Scale is the meta. Yeah, it's just way too good. So let's get right into the battles. Also, we're going to be using the Dragon Winder for our testings. I want to make sure I get comfortable with this. Okay. So now let's test Meteor Dragoon against, of course, Samurai Caliber 960 Freeball. For Samurai Caliber, we're going to be using the Hold Launcher Ripcord, and for Meteor Dragoon, we're going to be using the Dragon Winder. Now let's test Meteor Dragoon and Shark Scale against an attack type opponent, which will be Hell's Blast, Jackie 360 Low Rush. Let's start with Meteor Dragoon first. Welp, as you guys saw, they both did really good. Although Meteor Dragoon wasn't able to spin steel on its stock combo, but it has some really good hits because of that imbalance. And Shark Scale, well, obviously it's Shark Scale, it's gonna win. But it does lack stamina, and 450 kinds of make it burst prone. But that's alright because we still have two competitive combos for these beys, which are and also now these two beys are both experimental combos, but they're also good in the competitive scene. At least for Meteor Dragoon's case. As for Shark Scale, however, it's purely for my personal testing. And here's how they are in battle. So Meteor Dragoon's combo on 770 level is focused on attack and also spin stealing. The 770 ratchet allows you to make use of the rubber contacts that Meteor Dragoon has in order for it to spin steal, and level is a very aggressive bid that not only has good LED, it can also help Meteor Dragoon spin steal, but also attack aggressively. Utilizing of course the bulk of the ratchet, the imbalance and the weight of the blade, and of course the speediness and the aggression of the bit. So far, I think it's the most consistent Meteor Dragoon combo there is because 770 and level synergizes really well with Meteor Dragoon, but until we get more parts and more testings with this blade, maybe we can find a perfect or at least a viable combo for Meteor Dragoon. For strike scale, we're going to be using 360 Jolt as it is a competitive combo that I've been meaning to try for my personal use. 360 is just a really versatile ratchet that can be used in a lot of blades, and for strike scale's case, it's just being used to kind of synergize with the roundness of the blade that strike scale has. Jolt on its own is a very unique bit that has lots of stamina for an attack type bit and is also really passive instead of the usual aggressiveness that an attack type bit has, which can help strike scale destabilize stamina beys or outspin attack type blades with high amounts of stamina. Jolt can also utilize the extreme rail because of its 16 gears, where if you want to play aggressively, you can aim for the extreme rail to aim for those burst overs or extreme finishes. However, depending on your playstyle, if you want to play it more passively, you can always just try to soft launch it or try to avoid the extreme rail to get a consistent spin finish win. Both Meteor and Strike Scale has really good combos in the testing right now, and you can try them yourselves, but they have their pros and cons. And those are my competitive combos for Meteor Dragoon and Shark Scale. And for my final thoughts, obviously they're good beys. Shark Scale is the top of the meta, and Meteor Dragoon is slowly climbing on that meta ladder and finding itself a good place on the A or S tier of the meta. If you ever have the chance to buy these blades, I definitely recommend you to buy them because they will both help you competitively and they will be good additions to your collection. And those are my final thoughts. And that's the unboxing video of Shark Scale and Meteor Dragoon. I hope you guys enjoyed this very long video as we are unboxing 2 beys at once. Technically 4, but we cut out Hell's Brave and Roar Tyranno. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this special long video, and that's all. Bye-bye. Wow, this video is long. I'm not even sure if people are watching at this point. But if you are, thank you so much for staying this long in this video, and I hope you enjoyed the 30-minute unboxing video of these 2 beys. Before I go though, make sure to check out my other socials like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course YouTube. And while you're at here, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Whoa! Anyways, that is all the time I have for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.